So I have this pressing question of, there are times in my life like this very moment where I shared with some friends of mine in the audience that it was my intention to come and speak with you. And as a result, I'm living that creation, that manifestation.
And noting that is important. Recognizing how that thought felt and what manifested, so that you can replicate that relationship with thought. You get that? I want to feel that way about that too. I want to feel that way about that too.
Okay, so therein lies the rub.
Yeah. Therein lies the opportunity to get anything I want about anything.
This moment is undeniably being captured on tape.
Yeah.
But there are other things in my life
there are vibrational versions that are undeniably being captured on tape too. And the more you acknowledge things like this, the more you'll be in a vibrational place of being able to see those tapes, which is what manifestation is. Okay,
so how do I bridge that gap? That is the burning question within me, that there are times that are undeniable.
By acknowledging that it's all the same, that the things that you want that are happening are exactly like the things that you want that aren't yet happening, that it's exactly the same process, that you're just less wobble on the ones that are than on the ones that aren't. That's the way we'd look at it. I wobble more, and then say to yourself, I want to catch myself in the act of wobbling.
I want to catch myself in the act of wobbling.
All right, well, we caught you a few times. You said the pressing point is...
Yep.
The thing that's hard for me to do that I would like to be less hard for me to do is this. That's introducing statements that keep the wobble sort of going.
Okay. And the desire is to eliminate that they appear diametrically opposed.
But what's so interesting about elimination, about trying to eliminate something, is that there is no exclusion in this attraction-based universe. There's only offering a vibration that is being responded to by law of attraction and matched with other vibrations. So it isn't about eliminating one, it's about emphasizing the other. That's really big. It's not about stopping things. Because when you say, I'm not going to think that thought, what thought? That thought I'm thinking about right now.
Right.
I'm not going to think about that thing that I'm thinking about right now anymore. I'm not going to think about that anymore. But you're thinking about it while you're not going to think about it because you're thinking about it. So what you want to do is replace it with something else. And that's why we so want you to hear. And it is so simple that it makes you wonder if it can really be true. That when you find a thought of something that you already believe, something that you care about that you already believe, and you focus on that in a non-resisted way, that what you're practicing, hear this is the most important thing that we'll say to you all day or ever. What you're practicing is the vibration, not the thought. Now we'll back up and say that in ways that you can really hear it. You're practicing, when you find a thought, a belief, something, a subject that you have a desire for, that you already believe. I wanted to be in the hot seat, and I wanted to talk with Abraham, and I knew that that was going to be my experience. Now, you knew that.
Absolutely.
So as you rest in that feeling, I knew that. I could feel it. I could feel the absence of wobble. I could feel there was a certainty, there was a clarity about it. I could feel the alignment of that. I could feel that had enough momentum going, that it was likely that it was going to be a manifested, see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it experience, not only for me, but for everyone in the room, captured on videotape. In other words, I could feel it. That's how much I could feel that. So as you focus upon this thing, this experience that you felt, that you knew, that you lived, that you are, you practice what that vibration feels like. You practice the vibration of that, not the thought. The thought can be the vibration, that vibration of knowing. So what is it that you know beyond the subject of getting to be in the hot seat? I know that I create my own reality. I know that I'm a deliberate creator. I know that I can focus. I know that thoughts become things. I know that source energy is aware of me. I know that I have an inner being. I know that I have a vortex. In other words, along with that knowing that you are practicing, as you are reveling in, as you just did, what you know, you are practicing, you are holding, you are practicing the vibrational frequency that allows the same results relative to every subject that's ever active in your experience, unless you have a high momentum thought that is contrary to it, which you can work the bugs out of it by practicing the thoughts that you do know. Are you getting what we're saying?
Okay.
Think about what you want that is working, and the things that you want that aren't working yet will begin to work. Think about the things that you want that feel good to you now, and the things that you want that don't feel good to you now will begin to feel better and better and better to you. So what we're saying is, we're talking about achieving a vibrational environment that is conducive to the allowance of the vibrations that have already gathered to flow into your realized experience. We just explained to you how creation works, how evolution works, how expansion works, how you get everything you want, how you get everything you want, how everything you want makes its way to you. How is it? You focus on what is working, and you just milk the feeling of it. Just milk the feeling of it. Oh, I knew that. Oh, I remember that. I remember that. I remember that feeling. I remember that feeling. I love that feeling. That feeling of knowing, that feeling of alignment. I knew, I just knew. I knew. And we can fast forward for you. I knew I was going to be incredibly wealthy. I knew that. Didn't always know that, but then I knew that I was going to be in the hot seat. That's where I started. I knew I was going to be in the hot seat, and then I was in the hot seat. And then I knew that I had known what I didn't know from manifestation. I knew it from a vibrational countenance. I didn't have to see the evidence of it to know it. Oh, I don't have to see the evidence of it to know it, because I have vibrational evidence of it that I feel. And when you no longer need the evidence that you don't have to be there before you have it in order to get to where you want to be, then you can get anywhere you want to be. Did you hear that? But when you need the evidence to be there, you need the evidence to hang your hat on, you need the evidence of it, you don't ever need any more evidence again. You have all the evidence that you will ever want to have about anything that you will ever want. It's just a replication of this over and over and over again. Just remember this feeling. Just remember this feeling. And anything you want, whoosh, right into your realization. Anything you want. No exceptions. No limits for you. Not one.
So how do I understand the evidence part. How do I ignore the results when they are not necessarily as desired as this moment?
You really want to know?
Yes.
Because we're
bring it on.
We are so happy that you asked this question, and we'll answer it, and then we'll take a segment of refreshment. By acknowledging that you want to feel good, and that it's only attention to the results that are in alignment that do feel good, and that when you're focusing on a result that doesn't feel good, you're practicing out of alignment. In other words, I don't care about the result in terms of the manifestation. I care about how I feel when I focus upon that. It's the feeling that I'm going for. The feeling is the result I'm looking for right now. It's the feeling. That thought sucked. That experience, I don't even want to talk about that. I didn't want to think about that. That doesn't feel good to replay that in my mind. This feels good to replay this in my mind. This is the momentum I'm practicing. Once you get that, if you can hear us when we say, if it feels good, it's the path of least resistance, and Source is with you on it. If it doesn't, then you're off on some other track, and it's going to be a harder experience. You're going to hear so much more as we are moving forward today. Really good time for a segment of refreshment.
Thank you.